Gold, the ancient standard of currency. Since the time of the Incas, gold has played a defining role in the cultures of the Andean regions of South America. To this day, indigenous people in some villages continue to mine gold as their main source of livelihood. Sadly, the Latin American landscape reflects the invasiveness of many decades of gold mining, stripping away the physical beauty of the region. But the devastation from gold mining extends far beyond the natural landscape. Nambia, Ecuador, located near the Peruvian border, 6,000 feet above sea level. The settlement exists for one purpose only: gold mining. The indigenous Ecuadorian Amerindians have been mining for gold in Nambia for centuries. In the last century, however, toxic chemicals were introduced to the gold mining process. The most widely used substance for separating the gold from sediment is mercury, also known as quicksilver. Exposure to mercury may cause severe neurological damage, especially to the developing brain of children. Many of the villagers in Nambia have been found to have toxic levels of mercury in their blood. But it is the children who are most affected.
We're looking at the intoxication of children and adults with two heavy metals, lead and mercury.
A team of scientists, led by Dr. S. Alan Counter of Harvard University, discovered widespread mercury poisoning while investigating lead exposure in children of Ecuador. Dr. Counter began his study of heavy metal poisoning in Ecuador in the mid-90s, when he found entire villages with high levels of lead exposure. Blood tests show that many children in the villages were severely lead poisoned. He also found high lead levels in soil and food grown throughout the villages. The first visible sign of lead poisoning in children is black teeth. Dr. Counter's team consisted of medical personnel from across the globe. Dr. Fernando Ortega, Ecuadorian physician and anthropologist of the Universidad San Francisco de Quito Medical School. Dr. Leo Buchanan, audiologist of Harvard University Health Services. Dr. Goran Laurel, ear, nose, and throat surgeon from the Karolinska Hospital in Stockholm, Sweden, as well as an international team of nurses and technicians. The team worked together in harsh conditions to provide medical care, medicine, counseling, and educational programs to the families in lead contaminated villages throughout Ecuador.
Tell her that anytime there is smoke from her, that she should really not stand in the smoke unless she has this.
While working in these communities, Dr. Counter and his team learned of a widespread use of another very dangerous heavy metal, mercury, commonly used by gold miners. The team learned of one remote gold mining settlement in the Ecuadorian interior called Nambia. Nambia means the place that no one can find. Traveling to the village proved extremely difficult and at times dangerous. Incessant rain and mudslides added to the already hazardous mountain terrain. Many roads were impassable. Rivers were swollen and difficult to cross.
It is very hard to cross, and we need to be really strong here and also outside. So the three strongest are going to be outside, and the other three we are going to be here. So probably the three of you, are you? I think, no?
The ferry system here at the Zamora River consisted of a primitive cable and pulley system. The cable was all that kept the team from being swept downstream with the rushing current. Crossing via the footbridge, as Dr. Buchanan found, was just as exciting. Widespread squalor and poor hygienic conditions give Nambia a frontier town feel. The physical landscape shows the scars of years of strip mining. Caves riddle the mountaintops, some of which have collapsed, killing many miners. The inhabitants of Nambia believe a collapse of the entire mountainside is imminent. Man-made waterfalls supply a constant stream of water, an essential component in the gold extraction process. Much of the labor force in the Nambia area is made up of the Saraguro Indians. The Saraguro people are an ancient tribe that coexisted with the Incas. Today, they are low-paid manual laborers in the mines. Extracting the gold is a lengthy and destructive process. gold miners toil for hours within the deep recesses of the earth. Sacks are filled with ore containing veins of gold, as this sample shows. The miners are grateful to emerge unharmed after an exhausting day's work. The sacks of gold ore weighing up to 70 pounds are transported from the mines. This is just the beginning of the gold extraction process. The ore is ground into a fine soil. Filtering mats catch a combination of gold particles and sediment. Panning begins the painstaking process that separates the gold from the sediment. This step introduces the poisonous mercury. This is a common sight, a gold miner exposing his bare hands to the toxic mercury. The quicksilver binds the gold and forms an amalgam. Other hazardous chemicals, such as deadly cyanide, are also used in this stage of the extraction process. Barrels are casually discarded into rivers, contaminating wildlife and exposing the people in the area to the poisonous chemicals. In the final step, a blowtorch is used to burn away the mercury and sediment. The miners wear no protective gear and inhale the toxic fumes from the burning mercury amalgam. The dangerous mercury vapors can cause neurological damage, including Mad Hatter's disease. Covering the mouth and nose with a cloth offers no protection against the deadly fumes. Only a protective mask or respirator can protect the miners. The arduous gold mining process results in a handful of pure gold. This ball weighs approximately 10 ounces and is valued according to current market standards. Most of the gold is fashioned into jewelry in sweatshops such as these and sold throughout the world. The medical team set up base in the military barracks in Nambia.
Una, todos los días hasta que se termine.
Does she burn any of the mercury inside their house? Is there any?
Quema azogue dentro de la casa, No.
So the children don't breathe. Children don't breathe.
Entonces los niños no están expuestos a eso, a los vapores.
What I would like for her to do is have her husband come by here to visit our clinic, and I will provide a mask for him to wear.
Yep.
So that when he's burning these fumes, he could wear the mask and it would protect him from the fumes.
While the owners of the mine profit from the gold extraction, the miners and their families pay a heavy price, especially the children. A child's developing brain is highly susceptible to the mercury damage. Blood tests on the children of Nambia indicate high mercury poisoning. Brainwave testing showed that some of the children already have neurological impairment from mercury poisoning. The average amount of toxic mercury in the blood of Nambia children was more than 50 times higher than in children of the United States. The children were also tested for hearing problems, as mercury poisoning can lead to deafness. This child showed high mercury poisoning. Children are often exposed to mercury in their own homes. It is not uncommon to find clandestine mining in the workers' houses or backyards. The workers resort to this illegal mining because of the poor wages they earn. Unknowingly, they are adding another level of mercury exposure to their families.
¿Cómo se llama?
¿Yo?
Sí.
Johnny Roberto Alan.
9-year-old Johnny Roberto is a Saruguro Indian boy who works with the mercury. He was diagnosed with epilepsy, which may be related to mercury poisoning.
When you grow up, do you want to work in the mines?
Cuando crezcas, ¿quieres trabajar en las minas?
Sí.
Johnny Roberto wants to be a gold miner just like his father. Many children learn the gold extracting process from their families, including the handling of the poisonous mercury.
Do you know the problems, the dangers of working in the mines? Do you know how dangerous it is when you breathe the mercurio?
Lo peligroso que es inhales el azogue cuando trabajas en las minas.
No. No.
Gracias.
Johnny Roberto's father works in the mines in order to provide for his family. he is reluctant to discuss the use of mercury for fear of losing his job.
A pesar que no se ha sabido también, no hemos sabido nosotros que es dañino a la soga, pero si es la única fuente de trabajo aquí, toca coger con el azogue, usar el azogue para el trabajo, entonces no queda otra.
Even knowing the risks inherent in gold mining, he feels it is the only way to support his family.
Segundo, I'm going to give you this mask to wear when you work in the mines, when you're burning the mercury, mercurial. When you take the mercury,
The mask will prevent the breathing of poisonous vapors in the future. Though Johnny Roberto's father continues to face the daily dangers associated with mining, he will at least have one level of protection against toxic mercury exposure.
De nada. De nada, de nada.
In Nambia, the impoverished Saraguro Indians continued to use mercury in the extraction of gold. Until mining is completely stopped, the environment and the people will continue to suffer, especially the children. Dr. Counter and his team believe that through education and healthcare and support from Ecuador and abroad, the children of the gold mines will have a chance for a better life.